Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another round of Basis Picks. As always, please like and subscribe, share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, any and all in between. It's appreciated. Now, I was supposed to do two videos today with the undercard fighters and then the main event fighters for the predictions, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized, and I think you guys kind of know, I don't care about the undercard for this event. I don't find it particularly enthralling. Two of the fights I actually had the most interest in, they actually fell out and they've got replacement opponents. Yes, I could break down those fights, but why? It wasn't the fight we were originally promised. There's only actually one fight on the undercard that I've got any real interest in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to speak very briefly on two of the undercard fights, maybe three, literally just give a prediction, and then we're going to go straight to the main event. I'm going to give my thoughts, my feelings, break down what I've seen from a weigh-in perspective, a weight perspective on the press conference, etc., and keep it moving. So without further ado, let's get into the picks. So initially I was looking forward to Peter McGrail versus Dennis McCann. It's no longer Dennis McCann, obviously, for the drug situation, the adverse findings, so wait and see what happens with that. You got Peter McGrail versus Reese Edwards. Yeah, what is it, 10-1? Peter McGrail 6 KOs, 1 loss via KO. Reese Edwards, 16-0 with 4 KOs. Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a bit of a boxing match, so good luck to both guys. Again, I'm not particularly giving a pick of any substance on that one, just not enough time to really analyze it. Then you've got Dave Allen and Johnny Fisher. Again, it's a fight I never thought should have been on the Riyadh season card. Dave Allen doesn't deserve to be on the Riyadh season card. Johnny Fisher's on the ascendancy, prospect still. He's basically, the last title he won was Southern Area title. So while I have a lot of admiration and respect for Johnny Fisher, I feel that these events are supposed to be like either top of the top, or like you're supposed to work to earn your spot onto these. Now he's got a big following. Possibly the the crowd that he comes with is a reason why he got this opportunity. And if that's the case, you know what, I can't knock that, because marketing and selling yourself is part of the battle. I'm not going to give a prediction on the fight itself, because that would mean me validating the fight in the arena it's in. What I will say about the fight is Johnny Fisher is the overwhelming favorite, especially according to the bookies or whatnot. But Dave Allen has been talking like this is basically, that he's levels above Johnny Fisher, and he has always been, and he's really put himself through it for this one to prove that, this was a horrible matchup. If a Dave Allen of any note were to turn up, I would think Dave Allen is the better of the two, more technically skilled, better head movement, all that good stuff. So yeah, theoretically, if you're talking about just based on talent, like, Dave Allen should be clear and above of Johnny Fisher, but we don't know what Dave Allen is truly going to show up. But we do know that Johnny Fisher is going to treat this the same way he treats every other fight, and he's actually, dedicating himself to this and is at least taking it as seriously as he can. So yeah, good luck to both. I don't particularly have a way of separating this one in my mind. I'm just not really that bothered about it. The one fight I will be sort of speaking of is the other heavyweight battle between Moses Atma and Dempsey McKean. Now, from what I heard, Moses he's come in a little bit heavy on the weigh-ins. I think it's about 249 pounds. I think his previous fight was about 239. He's always was going to be a guy that probably ranged around the two, I would have said between sort of 230 to 252 in terms of size moving, in general. But 249 at this stage might be a bit too big. Yeah, but look, I actually looked at the Dempsey Mcken versus Filip Hrgovic fight a little earlier, and I looked at a couple of his previous fights. Dempsey Mcken's a very tough man. That's one thing. He's very tough, but he's not. His hands ain't the quickest, but he's a decent. He's got decent speed in terms of foot speed, and hands are just sort of consistent around when he does exchange or when he does fire. The problem with Dempsey Mcken, and I've seen it in quite a few of his fights, not just the Hrgovic fight. He can weather a storm early, come through, and then like take guys out towards sort of the middle to late rounds. But on the majority of the fights that I've seen Dempsey Mcken in, he has gotten hurt early. Not saying that he was all wobbled around the ring or like out on his feet type hurt, but he gets hurt, he gets hit, and he gets rocked. And yeah, I think that particular situation, and the fact that Moses is very quick, he's got very quick hands, he knows how to throw combinations, and he knows how to get off to angles. I think that's going to be something that doesn't necessarily bode well for Dempsey Mcken. Now, he likes to sort of be able to, when he gets hit, he likes to sort of hold, like MMA style hold, try to push the opponent, try to lean on them just to try to get a breather and then go again. But the way that Moses Atma frames up a lot of the time, you can see that he's quite good at being able to break a clinch, get away from it, to either get the referee to break up or to possibly try to slip an angle. Now, this whole fight is basically going to be, can Moses do damage early? If Moses can do damage early, he can then sustain an attack throughout the time for the rest of the bout, and then end up getting rid of Dempsey Mcken. We're looking at maybe 6 to 7 rounds. But if Dempsey is able to just kind of keep him at bay in the first 2 to 3 rounds of the fight, he could start to get into it, and he's used to going a bit longer than Moses is in the ring. And Moses hasn't been 10 rounds before, whereas obviously Dempsey has been to the 12th on one occasion, and he's been to those later rounds a little more in his career. So he is kind of used to pacing himself and knowing what it takes to get there. That being said, while I think that Dempsey is going to be a bit elusive and a bit negative in the first couple of rounds, just to try and get that breather, get that space, try to land that left hand, or he may even switch orthodox for this one. He said he's quite comfortable in the orthodox stance. He may decide to do switch hitting. I think it would benefit him to stay southpaw, because Moses hasn't necessarily fought any southpaws as a pro, and this would probably be a better scenario for him. But with that being said, I think the speed of Moses Atma, the hand speed, and the fact that he's actually very good with his head movement is going to not allow Dempsey a lot of opportunities to try and land not only the backhand but even the jab. And I think every time, if he throws the jab out lazily, Moses will be able to get around it and then come with hooks from angles that Dempsey isn't really used to. I think Dempsey's going to take a bit of a beating in the first few rounds. Maybe sort of weather the storm a little bit. Moses might then turn sort of slow down the pace slightly, but I reckon by the time we get to maybe the 7th or the 8th round, if it is still going, then I think Moses will find a combination or find a barrage of shots that will force the referee to jump in. I don't know if he'll necessarily knock Dempsey Mcken out, but I think he could get him out on his feet to the point where referee jumps in to wave it off. So my prediction will be Moses Atma via late stoppage in the fight, like around sort of 6-7. And in terms of Sergey Boachuk and Ishmael Davis, again, it's another fight I'm not going to predict because it wasn't the fight I was initially watching for. But Ishmael Davis has got the right style for the fight. He hasn't got the right experience. So I'm just going to wish him the best of possible opportunities and hope that he can do something very special in the ring. But Sergey Boachuk is of just a much different class, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so now we move to the main event Alexander Usyk, who is the undisputed, regardless if he doesn't have the IBF belt or not, he is undisputed, never lost any belt in the ring, and he beat the guy that currently holds the IBF title already. So yeah, so undisputed champion, IBO, WBO, WBA, WBC, Ring Magazine, Lineal, against the former two-time heavyweight champion, former Lineal. Really and truly, he was never a former Lineal because he never actually beat the guy that was the Lineal, but that's another story. But former two-time Ring Magazine champion Tyson Fury, coming back from his first ever defeat in the ring. Yeah, look, let's talk about this one now. Just watched the weigh-ins a moment ago. Both Usyk and Fury weighed in fully clothed. Fury weighed in around about 281 pounds. If he's really that weight, I'm not sure, but I would say he's probably close to about, I'd say maybe 275 to 277. Very similar to the second and third Wilder fights. I reckon he's somewhere in between there. Obviously don't know what he was wearing underneath the clothes, etc. If he had anything in the pockets, blah blah blah. Usyk came in at 226 pounds fully clothed, so we can maybe assume he's about 223, 224, very similar to he was in the last fight, and the fights prior to that he was, I think, 221 in both of those. So he has, I guess, put on a tiny bit of weight from, I guess, the very first Anthony Joshua fight all the way up till now, but he's still within the same range that he's been at. In this, they had a very big 12-minute stare down yesterday. The stare down was 3 seconds today. Tyson Fury broke the stare very quickly, said, "Like, cool, like, we're going to get down to business." Tyson Fury has not been his usual self this entire week. He said, look, he's coming for war, he's coming for destruction. He's not going to change much in terms of his preparations. He's going to just do a bit. He's going to just be a bit more composed, less clowning and less showboating, and he should get the victory. I do think he is going to be a bit more aggressive in this fight. Ultimately, I think that his game plan is not going to be this whole, oh, you got to just treat him like you did Deontay Wilder in the second fight. That's very lazy analysis from a bunch of very credible people that actually, either boxing professionals or, supposed to be expert boxing judges and pundits, and everything is, you're just going to have to come in heavier, just lean on him, and, etc., etc. He tried to lean on him in the first fight. It didn't work. It didn't work for a reason. Number one, because Usyk is a lot stronger than Tyson Fury expected. But number two, Usyk knows about body positioning, body control, and being able to position himself to a way where Tyson Fury couldn't lean his weight on him. That's why you saw him dig the shoulder in, tuck the elbow. Tyson couldn't get a hold of it, couldn't push him back, couldn't move him, couldn't do anything with him. There's a reason that happened. Outside of that, very slippery, always on the move. Tyson Fury I think he realized after a while, okay, I'm trying to grab him to get a breather. I can't get the breather. It's causing me problems here. In this fight, I think Tyson Fury's best bet, if he wants to win this, is he has to treat this like it is a 5-round fight. I think he has to go into this fight with the mindset that I'm not trying to leave anything in the tank. This can't go points. I have to understand that I just have to do whatever it is I can in the first 4 to 5 rounds to take this guy out. And if I don't get him out of there within that 5 rounds, then I have to accept that become round 6, round 7, round 8, he's going to knock me out. I've got nothing left. I have to make sure that I leave every ounce of anything I have in those first 5 rounds. Outside of that, he can't, this whole be the bigger man thing, there is that, but he basically has to control center of the ring. He can't allow Usyk to push him back. He can't, allow Usyk to take that control to, just start jabbing and throwing heavy shots down to the body as he did before. He's got to take center. He's got to step forward. He's got to throw everything at Usyk's body. From the chest, everything has got to be from the chest downwards. He don't even think about the head. Hit him in his chest, hit him in the shoulders, hit him in the arms. Get as close to him as you can, dig the ribs, hit him. You've got to hit him low. As much as he doesn't like being hit low, as much as he's going to he's going to complain, and probably you might even get points taken off. Hit him low repeatedly. Like, be as dirty as you can be. That's without you necessarily getting yourself disqualified. Like, take it to the wire of what you will get disqualified for. Just bust him up, damage him as much as you can, and then finally, in sort of that third to fourth round, that's when you start trying to go for the head a little bit. The uppercut worked, although you probably won't be able to land the uppercut the same way, because Usyk would have figured out that. But just drive those hooks in, just everything, just keep working away. And like I said, don't try to box him, don't try to be cute, don't try to pick punches. Hit him wherever you hit him, and keep that keep the left hand up, so that you don't get caught with that backhand left over the top, which will come at some point in that early stands of the fight. To me, that's Tyson Fury's best bet to victory. He is crazy enough to go into that with that mindset, especially now that he seems a bit defeated in terms of, I'm used to being the guy. I'm the guy that outboxes people. I'm the guy that makes people look stupid. And all of a sudden now, as much as it was a close fight in some people's minds, and if it wasn't for the knockdown, at the end of the day, this guy won more rounds than me in the fight. Or if he didn't win more rounds, he won as much rounds as I did, and he basically bested me. I have to do what I have to do to best him. That, to me, is the way that Tyson Fury wins this fight. The way Alexander Usyk wins this fight. Now, if he can keep close to Fury like he did before, tuck up, get in early, even potentially lose the first 3 to 4 rounds, but just make sure that he drains Fury, like he throws a few of those those really nasty backhands to the body like he did before. Maybe feint 1 or 2 shots upstairs and then go back down to the body. Like, just keep pounding away. Make sure even if he's got to shoot a couple of shots just a little bit lower than the belt line as well, and maybe get a warning or get warned by the ref, because Tyson Fury he wears his trunks very high. Take advantage of that. Let the ref know, those trunks is high, I want to hit tier, is it okay? Make sure in the fighters meeting that's been announced, and you work away there, but you stay with the high guard, stay with the big head movement, lateral side to side. Make sure that you keep the arms tucked in, so you don't take too much damage to the body too early, but just keep that front foot pressure, and just accept that even though you won all 3 of the first early rounds last time, possibly 4 in some people's minds, but this isn't about you winning those rounds. This is about you making him work extra hard, especially considering that he's come in 16 pounds heavier than he was last time, 17 pounds heavier. That's how you make those legs work. You make him work. You make him have to move his legs. You make him have to throw his hands, and you throw with him, you exchange with him. And then from about round 4, round 5, round 6, that's where you then take over. You drain that energy, you drain those reserves early, you start throwing those combinations, you keep those punches downstairs, keep conditioning him to think that those punches are coming downstairs and that's the only place they're going. Maybe a jab to the head every now and again, but everything is working away at the body. Disguise those headshots, and then as soon as you've conditioned him to just think, okay, like, I can't take another one down here, and he starts tucking his arms in to make sure that nothing else comes, or he tries to stiff arm and frame where you are to stop you being able to throw another one to the body, slip to the side, and then do that 2-1 over the top like you done in the first fight. And this time, do it with more venom, more aggression, and keep applying the pressure. And if you get Tyson Fury hurt the same as last time, you don't let the referee get in there. You deal with everything. If the referee tries to get in the way, you push him out the way. You throw a shot when he's in range. Like, you don't stop because he's coming to call the break, similar like he did. No, you let that last shot go. You take it out of the referee's hands. That's the way that you implement this one, especially considering the entire establishment is against him. he has to make sure that he stops Tyson Fury in order to guarantee a victory in this fight. Now, again, Turki Al-Sheikh, as I said in one of my videos yesterday, he's never openly caused or as backed a fighter and then that fighter's gotten a dodgy decision on the cards in Riyadh so far that I can remember. So it obviously doesn't make sense for him to be so openly vocal about him wanting Tyson Fury to win, and then all of a sudden Tyson Fury gets a gift decision. But that doesn't mean that some of the judges, as I said yesterday, are not looking at his big admiration and backing of Tyson Fury and not thinking, okay, well, if I help that along the line by maybe giving him all of the consideration in the close rounds or the rounds where maybe he's done one good thing and I remember it, that will get me back on another card. There is still that concern. So Alexander Usyk has to take it out of the judges' hands, and I think he's capable of doing so. But ultimately, I think the fight's going to play out a bit similar to the first one in that Alexander Usyk is going to try and take center, same as he did last time. But I don't think Tyson Fury is going to back up as much as he did. I think he's going to try to throw early. I think he's going to try to throw a couple of heavy shots from that very first round, just to make sure that Usyk knows, okay, you're not going to push me around the same way you did last time, that we're going to have a fight here. He will still back up from time to time, but I think he's going to try to measure I think he's going to measure the distance a little bit better in those earlier rounds, but he's going to work. I think Usyk is going to make him work. He may even potentially catch Usyk with a big shot early on, maybe sort of round 2, round 3, that, he then tries to apply the pressure. He tries to get in close, tries to grab Usyk, and Usyk obviously able to defend that, gets away and manages to avoid further damage in that particular moment. But he may sort of be fighting injured, I reckon, maybe rounds 2 to 3, so to speak, but pick it up round 4. He's always very good at when he loses a round, he normally makes adjustments so that he doesn't lose a second round or a third round after that. So if you see Fury with a lot of success, especially in rounds like 2 and 3, by the time it gets to round 4 and 5, unless he's actually done it, Usyk, I think, will make the adjustment and will step up the gas, step up the pressure. He'll make Fury start to throw again, and at this point those punches won't have as much on them, or they'll be less frequent, because Tyson Fury is now trying to manage and reserve the gas tank. I do think that he doesn't ever want to think that he's going to leave it all in the ring in sort of 5-6 rounds. So I think he's going to try to hold off on something and keep something in the locker for later on, but he's just going to end up draining. The legs are going to get tired a bit quicker. I don't know if his heart's in it the same way it was before. I do think around about the sort of the 6th round, 7th round, I think Tyson Fury is going to hit the deck again. Not going to be bobbing and weaving around the ring. I think he will hit the deck, take a knee, drop down. I think he will get up, but then I think he will hit the deck again, probably around about 6, 7, maybe 8. And I think in this time he may get up, but he may get up very slowly, to the point where either he just misses the count, or by the time he gets up from the count, referee looks at him and kind of decides it's not enough and decides to wave it off. So my prediction for this one is that Alexander Usyk will get the stoppage victory. He will leave it in no doubt that he is the winner and that he has bested the Gypsy King, and I think it will take place around about round 7 to 8. I mean, any other prediction is possible. That's what I'm going with. That's what I see. The only other scenario, obviously, I could see this going points. Theoretically, if Tyson Fury decides that no, I want to make sure I go the distance. I want to prove I can outbox this guy. Okay, that makes sense. And the only other prediction I could see would be a Tyson Fury TKO, probably like round 5 or 6. But I don't think that happens. The two most likely scenarios, I think, is Usyk stops him around 7 to 8, or Tyson Fury basically acquiesces to maybe him not winning and basically just tries to survive until the 12th, and we get a much wider points decision than we got the first time around. That's my prediction. Please leave yours down below. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you very much for watching. For right now, Basis Picks locked.